What if the single most important thing your dog needs from you right now has absolutely nothing to do with food, walks, or training? None of it. It's something so deceptively simple that your first instinct will be to reject it. You'll think, that can't be it. Yet, you're missing it every single day. It's not because you're a bad owner. It's just that nobody ever told you it was happening. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most dogs live out their entire lives trying to say something specific to the person they love most. And most owners go to their graves never actually receiving the message. Not because they don't care, they just don't know what the broadcast looks like. By the end of this video, that changes. Stay with me. What's coming up later hits the hardest. Most people have no clue they're getting it completely wrong. Think about that moment your dog chews something up. You catch them, and without thinking, you lock them in a long, firm, unblinking glare. You use that tone. You think you're communicating disappointment. Your dog is having a completely different experience. In canine social language, a hard, sustained stare isn't a correction. It's a threat display. It's the exact signal a dominant animal uses to start a fight. Your dog's nervous system doesn't process it as my owner is sad with me. It processes it as something dangerous is about to happen. That freeze response with the low head and eyes looking up, that isn't guilt. Researchers have documented this extensively. It's appeasement behavior. It's your dog doing everything in its power to say, please don't escalate this. I'm not a threat, make it stop. Over time, this breaks them. The Journal of Veterinary Behavior proved that dogs facing these confrontational interactions show massive baseline anxiety. They aren't necessarily scared of you. They just never know which version of you they're getting. The fix is actually quite simple. Redirect instead of staring. Move calmly. Use your voice to interrupt the action, not your eyes to challenge the animal. The relaxed, trusting dog you want can't exist if they're constantly calculating whether your next glance is safe. And speaking of safety, we often sabotage it. We sabotage it in the quietest moments of the day. You're sitting peacefully, and your dog wanders over. They sniff your hand. They press their nose against your arm. Most owners immediately reach out and start petting them. It feels natural, and it feels like love. But from your dog's perspective, you just cut them off mid-sentence. Dogs read us through scent and physical proximity with terrifying detail. Your body chemistry tells them things your face never could. They know if you're stressed, sick, emotionally wrecked, or fine. That check-in is a deliberate, purposeful medical scan. When you immediately turn it into a petting session, you hijack the moment. You make it about your need to touch rather than their need to assess. Try something different. Next time they come over, keep your hands dead still. Let them finish. Give them all the time they need. Only after they finish, when they settle against you or look up satisfied, do you respond. A dog that's allowed to finish its sentences eventually starts telling you a lot more. But often, we aren't just interrupting their sentences. We are silently shattering their entire world. We change their reality without warning. A new baby, moving houses, or a sudden surgery. Or maybe a brutal shift in your work schedule. To you, there's context, and you have plenty of time to adjust. To your dog, reality gets violently rewritten overnight. There is no explanation. They have no language to ask what's happening. A study from Stockholm University found that dogs experience massive spikes in cortisol during household disruptions. Cortisol is their primary stress hormone. And the trauma is significantly worse when the change is sudden. You can't explain a mortgage move in words, but you can change your actions. Take them to the new house before the move. Let them explore the change at their own pace. Lock down the routines that anchor their safety. Do this while everything else spins out of control. Don't do nothing. Assuming they will just adjust leaves an invisible scar. They've been waiting their whole life for you to understand that change is never neutral for them. Which brings us to the heaviest truth. Let them say no. Your dog actually has a real vocabulary. It uses no words, just posture, microsignals, and movement. And they have a crystal clear way of saying, "Not right now, please stop," turning the head away, or a quick lip lick. A slight lean back is one. Another is a tense yawn at an unexpected moment. A body that goes rigid instead of soft. These aren't just random quirks. These are actually complete sentences. Yet, as owners, we constantly steamroll them without even noticing. We let a child squeeze them when the dog's entire body is screaming no. We push through a painful grooming session because it has to be done. We let a stranger reach for their head while they shrink away. Every time you override their boundary, they learn a devastating lesson. They learn that their communication doesn't work at all. So, they simply stop trying. The University of Bristol found something fascinating. Dogs given autonomy show drastically fewer anxiety behaviors. They form much stronger bonds with humans when given real choice over physical contact. Less control from you equals more trust from them. They don't need you to be perfect. They just need you to listen when they speak. A dog that knows its no is respected never needs to growl, snap, or bite. They can whisper because they know you'll hear it. That's a safe dog. But true safety requires one final, crucial element. You need to be the same person every single day. Not perfect, just reliable. They don't need endless patience, and they don't need you to never have a bad day. They just need to predict you. Science has already proven this. What breaks a dog isn't your strictness, and it isn't your distance. It's your emotional whiplash. Being warm one day and completely cold the next. Playing wildly on Saturday and ignoring them all week. Shifting the house rules based on your mood is exhausting for them. If they can't map you, they can't relax. The open, trusting version of your dog wants to emerge. It can only exist when their nervous system decides it's safe to drop the surveillance. And that only happens when you become highly predictable. Show up the same way every day. Walk them with the same steady patience. Respond to their signals with the same focus. No matter how brutal your day was, they are just waiting for the reliable one. If these words hit home, do one thing. Hit like and let it stand as a quiet promise between you and them.